Today I'm going to fix the problem, the auto connection failed to retry problem on this Pioneer stereo. This is a DMH-100BT. I'm pretty sure this is on all Pioneer radios to where you can't connect a new Bluetooth device because the memory is full. You cannot get into any of the settings like the Bluetooth settings, the restore settings, anything really inside of this stereo because it needs to be connected to the parking brake and or grounded out. I'll show you that here. Go to settings, you got your Bluetooth and everything. You can go to your settings here. Your restore settings are gone. You can't click on the Bluetooth. You can click on everything else, but not the Bluetooth. So we are going to fix this issue. So with this issue, what you see a lot is that you have to have it grounded or to the parking brake because you're not supposed to be using these features while you're driving your vehicle. There is a way to bypass that, which is what I'm going to try to do today, because as you can see, with the parking brake on, go back here and hit your settings. I still cannot use restore. I still can't use Bluetooth here. So that's what we're going to try to fix. On some of these devices, you can put putty knives in here and try to pull it out. On this one, I do know that there's a bracket on each side that is actually screwed into the dash underneath the cover. So we're going to have to take the entire cover off today. First thing that we're going to do is get the tools ready. Get the Phillips head screwdriver, wire cutter strippers and crimpers, and then a couple of these. I'm using yellow. The blue and red ones that I have don't have enough meat, but we're going to use those. And then also a flathead screwdriver in order to pry things out. So the first step we're going to do is we're going to take this panel right here off. You don't necessarily need to do this step to get your dash cover off, but it does help. So you're just going to slap it in there. And then you're going to pop these two tabs in the front, and then the third tab in the back is going to come off. And then that whole thing comes off. After you take the side cover off, we're going to take this cover off. You have to be careful with the wire harnesses behind your lights and your dimmer, your four-wheel drive, and your power outlet. But first you're going to take this cover off. And how you do that is take your flathead and you just pop right here. You just have to be careful because these older trucks are fragile. And then as you can see inside of there, the wire harnesses aren't that long. So we got that component out. Just a clip on the bottom here, and then a clip on the bottom here. And then those will pull out. And then you can take a screwdriver or you can use your hand and you just pull. That first side of the dash comes off, and then we're going to move over to the four-wheel drive wire harnesses and the power outlet harnesses. After popping that first panel on the left-hand side and then pulling the dash cover off a little bit, you're going to keep pulling around right here and down here. Be very careful. You have a wire harnessing for your four-wheel drive. If you do have a four-wheel drive on your truck and you just want to pull out the wire harnesses there, I can't get my hands back there properly, but let's see what I can do. Got that one out. That one out. We're going to come over here to the power outlet, and this should just be a clip that pulls out. And all I do is I lift this high enough above the dash, and now we have access to our stereo. I said in the beginning of the video, this stereo has a bracket that is going from inside the dash underneath the cover to the stereo itself. So you got Phillips head screws right here on each side. So I'm going to undo those, and then I'm going to be able to pull the stereo out. Two little small screws. This is actually where I'm going to try to ground it, and hopefully that works. The other side. Now we can pull the stereo out. So my suggestion would be to pull out your cup holder if you're in this kind of truck. When you pull the stereo out, give yourself enough wire and just lay it on that cup holder. So your ground wire and or your parking brake wire is going to be this green one right here. This is your lime green, so to speak. As we are going to undo this blue tape until we can get access to that ground wire side. But all we're looking for is this right here. This says parking brake on there. That's supposed to be connected to your parking brake or grounded for bypass purposes. So what we're going to try to do today is ground it. So with this parking brake wire, it is really thin. So I would suggest either having wire strippers that can strip thin wire, but also something that you have to think about. I'm actually going to double this up like so. Make it a little bit thicker, because with how thin this is, you're also going to have to keep in mind that if you choose one of these, I had the yellow one at the beginning of the video, I'm actually using a red one now because it's just thinner. Crimp down on that. These might not be the best tools for crimping, but it worked. So I got that electrical taped. Not going to lie, I put it back in there before anybody could see it because it just looked really horrible to me and I just felt ashamed. So I have my ground wire out right here. What we're going to do is we're going to hook it up to that bracket and to the stereo. Screw that back in there. So we got that next part screwed in. Before I put any of the dash back together, let's just even see if this worked. You're gonna have to restart it to where it's gonna ask you for your language preference. Oh, here, the arrow. Hit the settings. Now we have the restore settings there, and now we can get into the Bluetooth. Device information, all this stuff, connection. So we got all these phones on here. See, auto reconnect, delete, delete, delete. Now you have all your settings available. It's literally just that parking brake. That parking brake line right here needed to be grounded and or put to your parking brake because they don't want you to use all these functions while you're driving your vehicle. I was using this little transmitter. You could hear radio frequencies and it just sounded really terrible, and I have the system in the truck. It just did not sound good, so I wanted to do this video to show everybody that it is pretty simple. Hopefully the video comes together well. I am doing different projects on this truck. Hopefully this video helped you out. Long story short, your parking brake, green wire usually, is going to need to be grounded to be bypassed, or put it to your parking brake so when you hit your parking brake you can use the features on all of these Pioneer stereos. Thank you for watching. I hope this video helped you out.